Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Radha, serving as the Assistant Professor in the Department of Home Science Extension Education, Avinashlingam University, Coimbatore. In this class, I am going to discuss about expert system for development. This module about the importance of various expert systems used in agriculture domain. Present expert system play the role of agriculture engineer and provide user the different methods of diagnosis and treatments. In agriculture, expert systems unite the accumulated expertise of individual disciplines. Example, plant pathology, entomology, horticulture and agricultural meteorology into a framework that best addresses the specific and on-site needs of the farmers. Genesis of expert system. Expert system technology has resulted as the spin-off from artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the specialized field of a computer science which has been studied since the mid of 1950s. Its primary aim is to make machines emulate human intelligence. According to Mockler and Dolgate in 1992 define artificial intelligence the capacity of a device such as computer to perform function or tasks that would be regarded as intelligent if they were observed in human. The initial research into artificial intelligence seemed very promising, but this was followed by many disappointments, as the research was followed by many unsuccessful attempts at applying artificial intelligence to real world problems. Because artificial intelligence is aimed at solving more general and all-encompassing problems. Difficulty with artificial intelligence system often arise because more than just specialized skill and knowledge is required to solve many general problems. In fact, the common knowledge that most of we have are extensively on a day-to-day basis for decision-making needs to be the most lacking in artificial intelligence system and therefore the dominant reason for the failure. The situation has resulted in some stage reasoning by AI system and is the main reason that artificial intelligence as the source of general knowledge is still in the research lab and is still far in the future. As mentioned above, expert systems are a spin-off artificial intelligence and can be thought of as more practical and successful implementation of artificial intelligence technology and experience. This mini artificial intelligence application are more successful because they operate in very narrowly defined subject areas or knowledge domain. By keeping the subject area narrow, adequate levels of knowledge can be encoded into knowledge. For example, collection of expertise or expert knowledge. Expert system application and then used to solve specific problems. In other words, expert system technology has been successful because, unlike its precursor, the works within specific rather than general application areas. An expert system is a software application that attempts to reproduce the performance of one or more human experts. Expert systems are mostly based on specific problem domain and are a traditional application of artificial intelligence. The expert system is used to behave like a human expert to solve the problem with the help of preset condition in the software application. A wide variety of methods can be used to stimulate the performance of the expert, which are the creation of knowledge base, which uses knowledge, a process of gathering that knowledge from the subject matter expert and codifying it according to the formalism, which is called knowledge engineering. Expert system may or may not have learning components, but a third common element is that one of the system is developed, it is proved by being placed in the same real world problem solving situation. As the human subject matter expert typically as an aid of human worker or a supplement to some information system. As the premier application of computing and artificial intelligence, the topic of expert system has many points to content with general system theory, operations, research, business processes, re-engineering, applied mathematics and management science. Expert system, particularly in agriculture sector, can be used effectively to provide proper advice to the farmers in the areas of nutrition management, pest control, selection of crop based on soil and water availability, and many more. Importance of expert system. The complexity of problems faced by the farmers are yield losses, soil erosion, and selection of crop, increasing chemical fertilizer, pest resistant, diminishing market prices from international competition, and economic barriers hindering adoption of farming strategies. The farmer may not become expert manager of all the aspects of farming operations. On the other hand, agriculture expert system, postgraduate diploma in agriculture extension management, researchers need to address problems of farm management and discover new management strategies to promote farm success. Numerical methods have failed to provide better solution because understanding about crop system are quantitative based on experience and cannot be mathematically represented. Expert system or computer program that are different from conventional computer program as they solve problems by minimizing human reasoning processes, relying on logic, beliefs, rules of thumb opinion and experience. The experience and knowledge of scientists will be used to develop expert system on various issues of agriculture, which in turn will provide advisory support on the farmers. Disciplines in agriculture expert system are capable of integrating the perspective of individual disciplines such as plant pathology, entomology, horticulture, and agriculture meteorology into the framework to the best address the type of ad hoc decision making required of modern farmers. Expert system can be one of the most useful tools for accumulating the task of providing growers with the day-to-day integrated decision support needed to grow their crops. An expert system contains knowledge about a particular field to assist human expert to provide information to people who do not have access to expert in a particular field. A database program relates facts that are stated, while an expert system used reasoning to draw conclusion from stored facts. Expert system act as an intelligent assistant to human expert and assist people who otherwise might not have access to expertise. Although both expert system and database programs feature the retrieval of stored information, the two types of program differ greatly. In medicine, for example, a database program might be useful for enumerating the symptoms of various illness, while an expert system might help the diagnosis the problem, illness, determine the causes, and suggest program of treatment. Database programs contains knowledge is only declarative knowledge. Since a database program cannot draw conclusion by reasoning about the facts in the domain, the user of a database program are expected to draw their own conclusion. In contrast, expert system contain expertise containing of both declarative and procedural knowledge, which allows them to emulate the reasoning processes of human experts. Components of an expert system. A variety of techniques are used to create expert system. They differ as widely as the programmer who developed them and the problem they are designed to solve. However, the principal components of most expert systems are knowledge base, inference engine, and user inference. First one, knowledge base. Knowledge base contains both declarative knowledge, that is, facts about the objects, events, and situations, and procedural knowledge like information about causes of action. Depending on the form of knowledge representation chosen, the two types of knowledge may be separated or integrated. Although many knowledge representation techniques have been used in expert system, the most prevalent form of knowledge representation currently used in expert system in the rule-based production system approach. In a rule-based system, the procedural knowledge in the form of heuristic, if the production rules is completely integrated with the declarative. Second one, inference engine. Simply having the access of great deal of knowledge does not make a person an expert. one must know how and when to apply the appropriate knowledge. Similarly, just having the knowledge base and does not make an expert system intelligent. The system must have another component that directs the implementation of the knowledge. The element of the system is knowingly variously as the control structure, the rule interpreter, or the inference engine. The inference engine decides which heuristic search techniques are used to determine how the rules with knowledge base are to be applied to the problem. In effect, the inference engines run an expert system determining which rules are invoked, accessing the appropriate rules in the knowledge base, executing the rules, and determining when acceptable solution has been found. Since the knowledge is not intervened with the control structure, an interface engine that works well in the expert system may work just as well as with different knowledge base, thus reducing expert system development time. Third one, user interface. User interface is a collection of operations grouped under a single name. Even the most sophisticated expert system is worthless if the intended user cannot communicate with it. The component of an expert system, the communications with the user, is known as user interface. The communication performed by the user interface is bidirectional. At the simplest level, one must have able to describe the problem of the expert system, and the system must be able to respond with the recommendation. In practice, a user interface generally is expected to perform additional function. For example, the user may like to ask the system to explain it, reasoning, or the system may request additional information about the problem from the user. Although the designer of expert system generally have a great deal of experiments with computers, the intended user of expert system are frequently computer novices. Functions of expert system. The main function of the expert system is to minimize the expertise and distribute expert knowledge to non-experts. The rapid development of internet technology has changed the way that an expert system can be developed and distributed. But the distribution of expert system to a larger scale of end user can be challenging in terms of both effectiveness and efficiency. From a knowledge transfer perspective, it is argued in the paper that an expert system application is the knowledge transfer process in which expert knowledge is captured by the computer system and delivered to non-expert recipient. It is believed that looking at expert system application from a knowledge management point and could benefit researchers and practitioners working either in expert system or knowledge management domain. The traditional knowledge transfer approach is frequently criticized or for rightly and bureaucracy, because all knowledge transfer activity slowly rely on the face-to-face communication from a centralized extension agency down to local recipient. After a few layers of people-to-people contact, knowledge can be easily lost or distorted. At the same time, knowledge transfer cannot achieve a great deal of efficiency by limited source when dealing with many users. Sharing knowledge is power. This is especially true when agriculture expert systems are introduced to farmers in the developing world. In many developing countries, the agriculture sector remains the largest employer in the country, and agriculture productivity is one of the major concerns for the country's economy. Agriculture knowledge extensionized is seen as effective solution for improving agriculture productivity. The word extension in this context derived from the educational development in England during 19th century, when Oxford University and Cambridge University attempted to serve the rapid expansion of educational needs from society. It was called university extension. In the early 20th century, the word extension was applied to describe the transfer of knowledge and technology to serve the needs of rural development by American land-grant universities. The rapid development of ICT, such as agriculture expert system, brings new opportunities to the agriculture extension methodology. From a knowledge transfer perspective, an agriculture expert system is the knowledge transfer medium through which advanced knowledge is enclosed and transferred to the recipient, who can learn and benefit from the knowledge transfer. Expert system application may involve a large number of users with diversified application scenarios. For example, a web-based expert system project in China can have potential impact on millions of farmers. Because of the larger scale of the application scenario may vary in accordance with specific local farming conditions. The success of larger scale expert system projects in the agriculture sector face a number of challenges. The large knowledge gap between the knowledge provider and the farmer, as sometimes poorly educated farmers are not able to observe the knowledge delivered to them, not follow the advice provided by the system. To sheer number of users involved in using the expert system. Physical distance between the knowledge providers and knowledge engineer and the end user. Expert system in the field of agriculture. We have all read about management-oriented farming and the system approach, as well as the variety of research and recommends optimal management under a variety of circumstances. The practical problem with the philosophy and with the available research knowledge is that there is often too much information. This problem often leads to decisions which produce less than optimal results because of data complexity and time constraints. As per Comia and Goit, 1988, pointed out, agriculture problems are often multidisciplinary and very complex in nature. Expert systems in agriculture, therefore, offer great promises because both currently available and future knowledge can be organized within the knowledge base. As described above, they are used within the problem-solving processes. This encoding of knowledge can then allow for implementation of the management-oriented farming philosophy by producing decision support system which leverage management input into the agriculture production system. Expert system in agriculture help people to make complex decisions about agriculture resource systems more effectively and more timely. Without this technology, many people often without the desired level of experience or expertise are forced to make decisions using incomplete information. By helping people to consider all the relevant information by assimilating this information into understandable format. Expert system assist people in the making of environmentally sound and economically viable farm management decisions. Expert system technology therefore offer the potential to provide a necessary link between both research information and human expertise and the practical implementation of this knowledge. Agriculture production has evolved into a complex business requiring the accumulation and integration of knowledge and information from many diverse sources. In order to remain competitive, the modern farmer often relies on an agriculture specialist and advisor to provide information for decision making. Unfortunately, agriculture specialist assistant is not always available when the farmer needs it. In order to elevate this problem, expert systems were identified as the powerful tool with extensive potential in agriculture. One of the advantages of employing expert system is its ability to reduce the information and human experts needs to be processed, reduce personal cost and increase output. Another advantage of expert system is it perform tasks more consistently than human expert. Some diagnosing expert system depend on the ability of an end user to understand abnormal symptoms of the plant and to convey this symptom through the textual dialogue. Depending the user level of understanding of the abnormal observation, the expert system can reach the correct diagnosis. If, however, the end user interprets abnormal observation in a wrong way and chooses a wrong textual answer to be presented question, then the expert system will reach a wrong conclusion. Characteristics of an agricultural expert system. It stimulates human resolving about a problem domain rather than simulating the domain itself. It performs reasoning over representation of human knowledge. It solves problems by heuristic of approximate method. Application areas of agriculture expert system like crop management advisor, a livestock management, planning system, pest management system, diagnostic system, conservation or engineering system, and marketing advisory system, etc. Advantages and disadvantages of expert system. Advantages. Expert systems are useful in many aspects and ready to use by end user as advisory system. Provide consistent answer for repetitive decision, processes and tasks. Holds and maintain significant level of information. Encourages human expert to clarify and finalize the logic of their decision making. Disadvantages. Lacks common sense needed in some decision making. Cannot make creative responses as human expert would in unusual circumstances. Domain expert not always able to explain their logic and reasoning. Cannot adapt to changing environments unless knowledge base is changed. The discipline of agriculture science is decision oriented, but the understanding of resource system such as agriculture production is poor compared to, for example, mechanical or electrical systems. This uncertainty can be captured and dealt with effectively as possible using expert experience and knowledge within the expert system. Development environment. Expert system technology is becoming more widespread as the number of constraints imposed on agriculture production system continue to increase. For this reason, agriculture research is an important part of developing and improving expert system over time because the knowledge generator is used to improve our understanding on agriculture processes. Let me conclude. Expert system can be great help to the farmers as well as for the researchers. This efficiency of diagnosing the right disease and treatment can enhance the productivity and reduce the losses. Expert system and decision support system are widely used in developing countries. The need of expert system in agriculture and availability of various expert system in various countries, the need of expert system for technical information transfer in agriculture can be identified and recognizing the problems. But most of the expert system are in English language. By developing an expert system in agriculture in a mother tongue of a farmer, help him or her to know the facts and truth and increasing the production.